Good morning everyone. So it's now 10 a.m. Fireworks in this back garden are going off in about 8 hours time. So I'm going to vlog the setup as I go. So the first thing I do is check out the ground conditions really. Now it has been raining the past few days. It's dry at the moment, but it's pretty wet underfoot. So I'm just going to go and check the garden out. So yeah, the ground is quite damp underfoot. There's quite a few leaves. I'm not concerned about the leaves in terms of being dry. They are very damp, so I'm not worried about them catching fire or anything like that. And plenty of space to work with here in the garden. Just checking for any hazards or obstacles on the ground. I mean, I know my ground's pretty okay. Just check back through here as well, because there's going to be some in this area. Yep, squirrel. Yep, all looks good. So the next thing to do is to start marking out where I'm going to have the fireworks. So it's now 10:30 in the morning, 7.5 hours to go before the display. I've now done the mark out. So you'll see all these posts. These posts are going to have little fountains on them. This fork trident thing here is going to have some Roman candles on it, and then some stands there with some fireworks on as well. And then as we go further down the garden, this area here is going to have some cakes on it, quite a few cakes. The plastic there is to stop any groundwater, because the ground is very damp, soaking up into the wood, and the wood's a base for the cakes. And then a bit further down the garden there's another little area here. This is going to be the biggest firework, which is why it's furthest away, so there's a little plinth for that there. So that's the current setup, and now we're going to start setting up some fireworks. So I'm now in the process of setting up fountains, and I'm going to show you how I actually fire these, because these are all going to be electronically fired tonight. It's all computer controlled, and so in order to do that we have to have these igniters on the fireworks. So I'm going to show you how that works and how we attach those. So the first thing we do, this is a fountain, a conical fountain, and when they come with a fuse, a piece of visco fuse like that, which is usually taped to the side. So the first thing I do is just take the sellotape off with a knife, gently. And then bring the fuse up. I'll tend as well to take this little bit of red tissue paper, just fold it back or rip it off. Like that. Now these green visco fuses, these burn at a rate of about 1 centimetre every second. So normally when you light the tip of a fuse, you've probably got about 7 to 10 seconds before the firework itself starts. So what I use these things. Let me get one. These are called talons, and what they are, they're basically little clips. See if I can show it to the camera, see if it will focus. Is it going to focus? There we go. Little clips. Now you won't be able to see this, but basically inside here is a little piece of almost like fuse wire, and when we put an electrical current through this wire, that fuse wire glows really, really hot. It eventually breaks, but it generates enough heat to light the visco fuse. So all we do is we clip this on to the visco. Now what I do, I try and clip it as close as I can to the bottom, and from experience I know that if I clip it at the bottom, I've probably got about 3 seconds from when I ignite this before this firework starts. So I can factor that into the programming. Obviously if I clipped it right at the top it would be longer. So I want this to be as short a time as possible, so I clip it as low down as I can, making sure there's good contact. Give it a good squeeze close, like that. And then what I do, I just tape this to the side of the firework, just so that if this gets pulled, it's not going to pull the fuse out of the firework. So we put a little bit of tape over, like that, just to secure it. The final thing I do is I put a little bit of aluminium tape over this exposed fuse, And why I do that, it's basically just to stop cross ignition. If this firework's going off, the sparks from it could potentially ignite this visco. And I've never had it happen, but that doesn't mean it can't. So just to minimise it, we put a piece of aluminium tape, very strong industrial stuff. This is what they use in like heating ducts in buildings and things. So it's strong tape. It's a bit of a pain to peel off. There we go. And so I'll put that over the top, over the fuse. Stick it down like that, and that just protects that from any stray sparks. And that's basically how most of the fireworks in this display are going to be triggered, via these talon igniters. So it's now 11:30 in the morning. All the fountains are now in place. You'll see I've put plastic bags over them because there's actually a chance of rain very shortly for a few minutes. Originally the forecast was for no rain today, but as you can see from the sky, it's pretty cloudy right now. So they're covered just in case, and we'll remove the bags later. So the next thing I'm going to do is start wiring these up. So I'm now wiring the fireworks into these are called slats. Each slat has 12 different channels, allowing me to control 12 different fireworks, and there's a number of those in the garden. So the talons, we take the protective covering off the end, like that, and we get 2 strands of copper wire. Just pull those apart a little bit, like that, and then this one's going into channel 1 on here. So we'll just straighten out the talon. What I try and do as well, just to make it, because it doesn't need to be this long, I could either cut it down, or what I'll do is I'll just kind of wrap it like that, give that a little twist. It's single core copper wire, so it's fairly it keeps its form when you bend it. And then we'll put this into channel 1. These are little spring terminals here. So we just push that in, make sure it's got a good connection. Once we connect this up to the firing system, we can actually test continuity as well to check that everything's okay. So that's the first one. It doesn't matter which way round these wires go. Let's put the second one in. This one's going into channel 2 on this slat. This is slat F. I think I'm using 7 or 8 slats, I think, today. And each one has 12 channels, so I think in total I'm using about 50 different cues in this show. So again, let's get rid of some of this excess. That's fine, give that a little twist. So this one's going into number 2, so we'll pull a little protective cover off, separate the wires a little bit, like that, and then bend the terminals back, and this is going into 2. Good. And then the third one on this plinth, take the cover off, separate the wires like that, and then this one's going into 3. Great, so that's all the fireworks on this particular plinth connected now. These slats in turn connect through a normal network cable, a computer network cable, to the central firing system, but that's for later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wire up all the other firing positions to their slats now. So it's now 12:30 in the afternoon, so we're about 5.5 hours away now from the fireworks. All my frontage is done now, everything is wired up, everything's bagged and waterproof in case it does rain. It hasn't done yet, which is good. So we've got a stand of fountains there, there and there, a few more there. We've got some single shots down here, and we've also got a single shot over there, and a corresponding one the other side. You'll see they're at an angle, so they're going to cross over in the sky. So that's all the frontage done. Next job is to start on this site here, which is where we're going to have all the cakes. Cakes are basically a series of single shot Roman candles all joined together, all fused together. So they're going to go in this section here, so that's what I'm going to start laying out next. So it's now 1:30 in the afternoon, 4.5 hours till the fireworks. Just finished laying out and wiring up my cake firing site. Still need to do a bit of work here. I need to actually stake all these cakes down to stop them toppling. But I'm going to now grab a quick bite to eat and then continue. So it's now just after 2 p.m, so less than 4 hours to go now. Everything's in position, and yeah, it's just started raining a little bit. It's not much, but obviously it's damp, so fireworks are currently under plastic. But that doesn't stop me from doing anything, so what I need to do now is wire all the slats. That's where all the fireworks are individually connecting. All those slats need to wire back into the main brain, the main computer that's going to drive all this. That's the next thing I'm going to set up. Right, so my slats are all now wired in. You can see this is just standard network cable, RJ45. And so that clips into there, and then you'll see that that gets wired back all the way over here to the heart of the operation, this little box here. This has a couple of 12-volt batteries in, and this is what powers the system. So now I'm going to turn it on and do a continuity check. Let's see how we do. Right, so we go test. Right, it's found 45, so there's a few, there should be 49 cues, it's found 45, so we can see A1 is flashing, so I need to just go and check the continuity on that one. So A, I know, is over here. A1. Let's get this. Right, A1, let's check the continuity here. Check we're in nice, and just take the cable out and put it in again. Right, let's go see if we're on now. Nope. Okay, well, we'll come back to that one. Let's see where else we've got. So B's okay, C's okay. I've only got 5 cues on C. D is okay, E is okay, F is okay. Right, there's a couple on G, 3 and 5 on G. Right, 3, 5 on G. Let's have a look at those. So G is this one. 3 and 5. So continuity looks good. I'm going to just pause the video and I'll just see, because it might be the clips, it might be the talons. Sometimes you get faulty talons, in which case I might need to change them, but we'll just check. Okay, so we're now at 100% continuity. You'll see I've got a solid black square there, whereas before that was flashing to indicate there was a break. I just needed to change the talon, the little clip-on igniter, and that's now fine. The other issues were on slat G. Let's go to G. And you can see now I've got 5 cues, which is right. They were just loose connections. They didn't make very good connections on this slat. So I've just oh, now there we go. 3 is flashing again. And now it's solid. Okay, I might change the igniter on that just to be on the safe side. But other than that, we're looking good. So it's now 5 p.m, so there's 1 hour to go till the fireworks. As you can see, the garden's looking amazing with the coloured lights I've put in as well. So everything's kind of ready to go. All the fireworks are now all uncovered. If you saw a little earlier, they all had bags on in case it rained. The weather's looking okay. It's cloudy, but it's dry. There's no wind, which is good. I'll take you down this end and have a little look what's going on down here. So yeah, down here we've got all the cakes ready to go off as well. So yeah, an hour to go. So in this last hour, what I do, again, I fire up the system, check continuity, check everything's good, check all the connections to the remote control as well. I used to fire them. And yeah, then we're good to go. So fingers crossed everything goes well. Bye for now.